first example. The question here is, a watch was sold at a loss of 9%. It was observed that if the selling price was rupees 420 more, the profit made would have been 5%. What is the actual selling price of the watch? So as you can see here, the question says a watch was sold at a loss of 9%. It was observed that if the selling price is 420 more, that means if the selling price is increased by rupees 420, then there will be a profit, and that profit would be equal to 5%. So from this data, we are supposed to find out what is the actual selling price of the watch. Now the best way to solve such questions is simply find out the selling price in terms of percentages and then cross multiply to find out the required answer. For example, here the question says the watch was sold at a loss of 9%. We very well understand that if the loss is 9%, then the selling price will be equal to 100 minus 9%. That is equal to 91%. That means the actual selling price of the watch was equivalent to 91%. The next part of the question says if the selling price is increased by rupees 420, the profit made would have been 5%. That means if the selling price is increased by 420, profit will be 5%. Now we know that if the profit is 5%, the selling price, let us take it as S dash, the new selling price will be equal to 100 plus 5%. That is nothing but 105%. So the original selling price is 91%, but the new selling price, when the price is increased by rupees 420, would be equivalent to 105%. And from the question, we very well know that S dash is equal to S plus 420. Why? Because selling price has been increased by 420. So new selling price should be original price plus 420 rupees. Now let us substitute S dash and S in terms of percentages. So we can say that 105% should be equal to 91% plus 420. So very clearly from this we can say that 105 minus 91, that is 14%, is equivalent to 420 rupees. That means 14% of the value is as good as 420 rupees. And we are supposed to find out what is the actual selling price of the watch. We know that actual selling price of the watch is 91%. So we can say that S, that is actual selling price, should be equal to 91%. And we need to find out what is the value here. So by cross multiplication, we can find out the original selling price. So the original selling price S will be equal to 91 into 420 divided by 14. Now 14 goes 3 times here, so the answer will be 91 into 3, that is 273 into 10, 2,730 rupees. So the original selling price of the watch is 2,730 rupees. So this is how simply with the help of percentages we can get the required answer in just 1 or 2 steps. Remember friends, you need not write all these steps in the exam. The most important part to be understood here is this, that the difference between two selling prices is 14%, which is given as 420. And we are supposed to find out the original price, 91%. So simply cross multiply and find out the required answer. Similarly, sometimes instead of asking what is the original selling price of the watch, the question may say what is the cost price of the watch. And we know that cost price should always be taken as 100%. So we can say that if 14% is 420, 100% should be equal to what? And cross multiply to get the answer. And likewise, if the question says, what is the loss made in the original case? We know that loss made is 9%. So if 14% is 420, 9% is equal to what? And likewise, for any other question, we just need to know what is the desired percentage and cross multiply to find out the required answer. So always try to follow the concept of percentages for solving these type of questions so that we can get the answer in just 1 step.